George Groves versus Callum Johnson. Wait a minute, hear me out. George Groves is coming off a knockout loss to Callum Smith in the World Boxing Super Series final, where he lost his WBA belt. And Callum Johnson is coming off a very, very good loss, I guess, to Artur Beterbiev, where he fought bravely and showed great heart in that fight. And although he lost, his career begun that night because we saw what he could achieve and what he's capable of. And obviously he's in the light heavyweight division, and that is the weight he campaigns at. George Groves is super middleweight, but obviously with George Groves losing to Callum Smith now, and will now most likely chase all of the other champions and go for undisputed, or at least unify the division with as many belts as he can. So a great option for George Groves is to go up in weight. He has considered it before, and he has said that he wants to continue his boxing career and maybe try and recapture a version of the world title, which is great. He still has a lot left to give. He's only 30 years old, or becoming soon will be 31, I think. So he still has a lot left to give, and obviously Callum Johnson is coming off, like I said, a good loss, if that is a thing, to Artur Beterbiev, and a lot more experience, and he will be ready to challenge for a world title. This is a risky fight for both fighters, more so I'd say for Callum Johnson, because obviously, like I said, his career has just begun after having a great fight. Whereas George Groves, it's a risk, but I mean, if it pays off, then he's just beat a young, hungry, former world title challenger. So, I mean, that would be great for him too. That would put him in great stead for a world title fight maybe in his next 1 or 2 fights straight away after going into the light heavyweight division. Again, this is a very risky fight for both fighters, and it is doubtful probably that it will be made, but I think it would be a great fight if it were to be made. The risk would carry a great reward for the winner. They would obviously be able to go on and challenge for another world title within the next couple of fights, because it would be a high profile fight, especially if they had it in Britain, maybe the O2. It would I don't know whether it would sell out, but it would definitely do great numbers. And obviously George Groves is a very high profile name, especially selling 80,000 tickets with Carl Froch in Wembley. So he has that draw. And obviously Callum Johnson is an up and coming British fighter who has flown out to America to challenge for the world title. So, I mean, a homecoming for him, and George Groves going back up in weight, or up in weight for the first time. I think this would be a great matchup. And I mean, for George Groves, really, he kind of has to take some risks now at this stage of his career. Like I said, he is young and he has a lot more to give, but I mean, I think he has 4-5 fights tops left in him. So if he wants to challenge for another world title, he needs to get on and start fighting some big names. It's going to be hard for him, especially coming off a loss like that to Callum Smith. Callum Smith really did take him out. So, as I said, the risk would be greater for Callum Johnson probably. The reward would be greater probably for George Groves. But obviously, it's still a great fight with great rewards for both fighters. And obviously, they're going to make some good money off of that, so why not? I don't see why this fight couldn't be made in the UK. Probably mid next year, probably this fight would be a good time to be made. So yeah, what do you think? Is this a good matchup? George Groves versus Callum Johnson? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please also like, share and subscribe to the channel Crunch Boxing and Sport.